Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you are here today. I am doing a collaboration with Chris Pond. You might know him as Tophcam over on Instagram. I think that is also the name of his YouTube channel as well. He is just so wonderful. I love the way he describes fragrances, and I am just so excited to be doing another one of these videos with him. He and I did one, I think it was just back in the fall. So maybe we will end up doing this twice yearly, which I think would be wonderful. But anyway, I do just want to say thank you so much to Chris for doing this collaboration with me. It's super fun to just take a moment and really think about the perfumes that I am enjoying, the fragrances and the scent for, you know, the spring rolling into the summer. It feels like the summer this weekend here in Portland. It's super warm. And so I'm just so excited to be doing another one of these with Chris. Now, some of you may know that I used to have a blog called Scent Hive where I focused on all natural perfume reviews. I started it back in 2009, and then I did transition obviously over into YouTube and focusing mostly on green beauty, but I still do love perfume. I consider myself a perfume nerd, and I do still have all of my old perfume reviews. All of those are still over on my blog. It's just not called Scent Hive anymore. It is now The Floor Aesthetic. So you can go over to my blog, and while I'm not very active at all currently right now on my blog, like I said, all of my articles are archived over there, so you can find any article I've ever written, any review I've ever written. And I do still appreciate the support that you guys give to my blog. I see that people are still searching for perfumes over there on my blog, so I really appreciate the love that you give my blog, even though it is sorely neglected from me. So I just want to give you a heads up, especially to my green beauty people out there, that I am talking about 5 perfumes. Only one of them is all natural. I am going to start with that one, so right off the bat. So if you are not interested in the perfumes that do contain synthetic fragrance, then you can just go ahead and watch this one, and then I will see you in my next video. But yeah, just a heads up that I will be talking about perfumes here that are considered, you know, conventional. But let's start with the all natural one. This is the Red Flower Guaiac Organic Perfume. And this is $52 for 10 mils. They also have a alcohol-based perfume as well in this same fragrance. It's a little bit different, but I thought, you know, this is the one that I have, and I thought I would talk mostly about this one since it is more affordable. Now, this is created from flower distillations, tree resins, herbs, and fruit extracts. So as I said, this is all natural. Now, this Guaiac Organic Perfume is based around the Guaiac wood oil. It has a very sweet, balsamic, vanilla, smoky fragrance to it, but I will say that I don't really get a lot of that smoky resinous from the oil. This to me is way more of a citrus type of fragrance. It has pink grapefruit oil. It also has frankincense and rose, but I will say that for me, especially in the oil, this is all about that juicy citrus pink grapefruit, which also kind of smells a little bit like orange as well. So if I didn't know that this was pink grapefruit, I might actually think that this is more of an orange citrus type fragrance. Now, when I say orange, we're not talking about neroli or orange blossom. This smells like you are zesting an orange in your kitchen, and just kind of like that bitter citrusy green, like really, really vibrant green scent that comes from, you know, the zest when you're cooking. That is what this smells like, and I absolutely love it. I have worn this for years, and like I said, it just feels super vibrant. It also feels like just very sunny, very summery. Now, having said all that, in terms of it being citrusy, I do think that the frankincense and the guaiac really help support the citrus and almost make it a little bit more like rounder and fuller. So it helps, I think it helps play off of that sharpness of kind of that zesty type of scent. And then if I remember correctly, the perfume extrait, the one that has, you know, the one that is alcohol based, it definitely has more of a woodsy kind of smoky undertone to it. Again, I would say, and I think I'm remembering this correctly, that even the spray perfume is super vibrant and citrusy and zesty, but not quite as much as the perfume oil. So If you are looking for something really citrusy, really vibrant that is not floral, I highly recommend this one. I did mention that there is rose in here. I really don't get the rose at all. I think probably, as I mentioned with the Guaiac wood oil and the frankincense, that the rose is probably playing more of like a supporting role and just adding to kind of the fullness of the scent, so it just doesn't go way too off on that tangent of the really sharp green aspect of this perfume. I think it helps balance it out. Not to belabor the point, but this is truly a bright, zesty citrus scent that I absolutely adore. So next up is a perfume that I think I've actually talked about before. When I was searching through my channel, it appeared that I'd only mentioned it one time, or I've only talked about it one time, which is kind of surprising to me. I feel like I've spoken about this a lot, but maybe it's just in my brain that I've spoken about it. But anyway, this is the Hermes Osmanthe Yunnan. And it comes, these Hermes perfumes come in this little pouch. And then I have the travel size, and this is what it looks like. It is 15 mils. I do not have the giant bottle that is 3.3 ounces. I think there might even be a larger bottle than that, but it is $280 for the 3.3 ounce. You can also get, I think they call it like an experience coffret, where you get to choose 4 of your scents, and they're each 15 mils like this. So you choose 4 of them, and that is $176. Now I have done that once in the past, and what I did was I picked 3 of the Osmanthe Yunnan. That is how I was able to purchase these at a little bit more of an affordable price, and I actually like the 15 mil size. It's great for travel. I think they're super cute. So anyway, that is the situation with the pricing. You can also find these on eBay. I think I have found these for around $45 for the 15 mil size, which definitely makes it more affordable. So enough of that. Let's dive into this perfume and why I just love it so, so much. I think if I had to pick one perfume to wear for the rest of my life, it would be this one. So it is just so well harmonized amongst the notes of tea and osmanthus. Obviously it's Osmanthe Yunnan, so it's Yunnan tea, osmanthus, and then it also has freesia in the mix. And if you've ever smelled fresh freesia, you know it kind of has this peppery type of quality to it. So all of these together just create such a opulent, sparkling, and sparkling I guess is kind of a theme because I consider this red flower perfume also very sparkly. But yeah, it just creates this beautiful, like fruity with the apricot sparkly type of scent that just really speaks to my heart, and I really love it. So let's talk about all the notes in here. So there's the Yunnan tea and orange, so that is the top notes, and then osmanthus and freesia are the middle notes, and then apricot and leather are the base. And so Yunnan tea in general has notes of apricot and like black cherry in it, so you're going to get that fruity type of scent or a sweet scent from Yunnan tea. Now I know there's all kinds of varieties of Yunnan tea, I think maybe depending upon when they're picked, when they're harvested. So you get this mingling of the tea notes with the osmanthus, and the osmanthus is very soft and fruity, like I said, with notes of apricot. Apparently osmanthus naturally contains lactones, which is going to give it that kind of milky peach aspect to it, which is just so, so beautiful. And if you guys are familiar with Victoria from Bois de Jasmine, her blog is called Bois de Jasmine, she describes it as smelling the way apricot skin feels. And I completely agree with that. This perfume definitely has that kind of like velvety, smooth, gossamer, sort of silky experience. And it's just, I don't know, I just can't rave about this perfume enough. And this perfume reminds me a little bit of one of my favorite teas that I love to drink. It's kind of a special tea, and it has China white peony tea with osmanthus flower in it. So these two notes just really lend themselves to each other, I think. And as I mentioned, the freesia gives it just that really nice kind of like peppery nuance. So overall, I highly recommend this if you are a fan of osmanthus and freesia. Asia, definitely you want to give this a try. And then also for those of you who like those tea-based kind of scented fragrances, this is just super beautiful. Next up is another Hermes fragrance. This is Cedre Sambac. So if you've heard me talk about Jasmine Sambac, the reason why I love it so much is it has a really kind of warm, almost resinous, kind of animalic type quality to it without being like too indolic. I know that there are indoles in Jasmine Sambac, but for me, I get that more from Jasmine Grandiflorum, which I don't particularly enjoy as much. But in this perfume, it has Jasmine Sambac in it, but it is definitely softer and slightly tempered in that animalic kind of resinous quality. So it's definitely softer. I would say that it has less of that warmth to it and more of a sparkle. Again, that sparkly theme that we've got going here on this perfume review for the summertime. What's really nice about it is it does kind of evolve into some notes of gardenia, which is really subtle with that warmth of the cedar. I really love this combination of notes. I would say the dry down is a little bit soapy. It's interesting. It's not quite as intensely, clean musk, if you know what I mean by that clean musk type scent. It's not quite to that level of muskiness, but it does have that soapy, musky scent on the dry down, but the jasmine lingers throughout it. So if you are a fan of floral, musky perfumes, this might be something that you'd want to look at, especially if you like Jasmine Sambac. So next up is a perfume actually that Chris gave me. He gave me a sample of this. This is Vetiverus by Oliver & Company. This is a company that is based in Madrid. It was founded in 2009 by Oliver Valverde. So I have the little sample here, and this is $145 for 50 mils, or you can get a $4 sample off of Lucky Scent. If you're not familiar with Lucky Scent, it is a really nice perfume website. So this perfume has a lot of notes in it that I really love. It has vetiver, labdanum, musk, patchouli, orange peel, osmanthus, coriander, clove, and styrax. And for me, the ones that really shine through, kind of the stars of this perfume, are the vetiver. The vetiver in here is actually quite smoky, which is really kind of dreamy. And then the osmanthus in here is super just like full-bodied, kind of that juicy osmanthus blossom, which is balanced out really nicely with that smoky vetiver. I also get a good amount of the coriander in here, and coriander is one of my favorite spices. And if you're familiar with it, you know that it has almost like a floral, fruity, spicy note to it. I think sometimes it also kind of has a buttery aspect to it. I'm not exactly sure what that is about coriander, but it kind of gives me that butter sense from it. I don't know why. And I do get that buttery coriander spiciness from this perfume, but not like hyper spicy. It's very low-key spiciness. And then the styrax in here is beautiful. That is a resin that in and of itself could be its own perfume. It smells like soft, velvety vanilla, but that is also kind of dirty. And when I say dirty, I mean like soil. Like it sort of is like this interesting sort of earthy, musty combination of soil and vanilla. It's just really interesting, and I love it so much. And so there is a little bit of that mustiness in here that I do believe is coming from the styrax. I don't get a lot of patchouli in here. I don't really get a lot of clove. It is musky, but it's not hyper musky. So I do feel like this would be a beautiful perfume for the fall and cooler months because of that kind of like musky, sort of musty type of sense about it. But for some reason for me, it actually works in the summertime. And I think that is because of the osmanthus and the vetiver. I think those are really year-round types of fragrances or notes to have in your fragrance. But I will say that because osmanthus blooms in the fall, I think it's just really lovely to wear this perfume in the fall. But having said that, I also love wearing it right now in the warmer months, so I do think that it is just a beautiful year-round fragrance. And then lastly, this is a perfume by Guerlain. This is from their Aqua Allegoria line. This is Pamplelune. All I have is a little decant, because I wasn't sure if I was going to really love this perfume. Now I know that I really love it. You can find this on like PerfumeNet or, you know, whatever those kind of, you know, discounted perfume websites are. I was able to find it in the 4-ounce bottle for $100. Now I do not need a 4-ounce bottle of perfume. I think what I would probably do is just get a larger decant. And this is from the Perfumed Court. If you're not familiar with the Perfumed Court, it is a wonderful website, e-tailer, where you can find pretty much any perfume under the sun, and you can buy, you know, samples, you can buy decants. I'm not exactly sure what the largest decant you could get. I'm guessing probably around 10 mils, but once I finish this, I will be getting a larger decant. I don't think I'm gonna get the 4-ounce bottle of this perfume. But anyway, Pamplelune is a grapefruit-based perfume. There's no getting around it. It is all about the grapefruit. But the top notes are grapefruit and bergamot, and the middle notes are cassia, which is considered Chinese cinnamon. There's petite grain, and as I mentioned, I think in a previous video when I was talking about petite grain versus neroli, petite grain is the essential oil that you get from the twigs and branches and leaves of the bitter orange tree, and then neroli is what you get from steam distilling the blossoms. And then the base notes in here are patchouli and vanilla. Honestly though, I don't get any patchouli or vanilla in there. I think sometimes these base notes, especially patchouli, aren't meant to be read as, you know, you put the perfume on, it dries down, and you're like, oh yeah, here we go, this smells like patchouli. I think patchouli and also vanilla, those types of base notes are there to help, you know, support and amplify the overall feeling you're supposed to get from the perfume. And in this one, it is all about the grapefruit. So this grapefruit in Pamplelune is super radiant. Once again, very sparkly fragrance, while it's also at the same time very green and almost a little bit sharp. And then as I was mentioning with the patchouli, I think the cassia and the patchouli are giving this perfume a little bit more depth without actually smelling like either one of those notes. This is a very rich, well-developed grapefruit perfume. I find it to be very unique, very alluring, and it just has a beautiful depth to it. It's almost like a hyper real grapefruit, you know, the idealized grapefruit. If you were just gonna slice a grapefruit in half, smell the whole thing, that kind of like deep pink ruby red grapefruit. So you can tell there's a little bit of a grapefruit theme, citrus theme here in these perfumes today, because I really am finding myself drawn to those citrusy perfumes. So that wraps it up for the perfumes that I am really loving for this summertime weather. Please do go watch Chris's video as well. I'm so excited to watch it for myself because I'm really interested and intrigued to see what he's been loving these days. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. So my perfume people out there, give me that thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.